Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back for another video. Okay, all right. The kids are done with school. It is summer. I have a lot more time. I don't have to take time out of my day to drive my kids to and from school. It takes about an hour and a half of my day. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we can get some videos in and we can be consistent here. And by we, I mean me, obviously. And so, I want to go ahead and dive on into this. I want to share with you my general thoughts as to what is next for Bitcoin. And I want to tell you, I am about 80% bullish right now, and I'm very confident. And so 80% may not sound all that confident, but there are some things that I'm looking at, moving averages, but then major economical things that are happening. I do believe that we have one more leg up. I don't know what that would be. $35,000, $42,000. I believe potentially that $42,000 would be about the peak for 2023. I was hoping that, we'd see higher prices eventually, but again, at the very beginning of this year, I've been saying between $30 and $42,000. Now, we did break 32. We had a peak at about $31,000. Excuse me, we broke 30, had a peak of about $31,000. What I'm saying too is I don't think that is the peak for 2023, and that's certainly not the peak before the next halving, which is only 9 months away, and so things to be hopeful for. But here's what I'm looking at. There's one broader economic thing I want to share. I'll get back to that in the remainder of this video. But looking at the numbers here, looking at these levels. I mean, I added these two levels recently within the last month, but every other level you see on this chart was added in January, and we've been respecting the levels. Even 2 days ago, when we rose to $28,500, got rejected at that previous range daily bottom, a key level of resistance right about here in March. We got rejected there again. I do believe that a reason why I'm bullish, I believe that sell in May and go away is a thing, that people have a mindset about May. I just don't want to buy in May. I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think this is going to happen, but I wouldn't be shocked if tomorrow, June 1st, we saw a little bit of a bounce in the price of Bitcoin. But I don't think that's going to happen, and I want to share why. Here's kind of my mindset. Let me go to a little bit of cleaner chart. I'm going to go to the Tether chart. It's pretty much the same thing. The price between Bitcoin, regular Bitcoin price in USD, and Tether is just, $10 or so right now. And so let me add some moving averages here, because I think the moving averages are going to tell us much more about what a general buying strategy should be. And so 200 week, give me 1 second. Okay, 200 week simple moving average. I think you've got to pay attention to all of these. Let me expand the chart here, but just looking at how we've respected the 200 week simple moving average. I know that line is very light, but it's right here. That was a phenomenal level of support on May 12th, and then last week, May 24th. May 25th. We are a little bit higher than that right now. The 200 week is in the lower $26,000 range. I would think that we are going to hold the 200 week. I mean, if you've listened to my channel, 200 week was a huge deal looking into the current bear market that we were in. We did not hold that like what we did in previous bear markets. We had monthly close, the first ever monthly close below the 200 week simple moving average. And then once we had a monthly close below there, it offered a great deal of resistance. But now we're back above the 200 week simple moving average. And I do believe for the remainder of this bear market that we're going to hold it as support. Looking a little bit narrower than 200 weeks, because 200 weeks is almost 4 years. We also have the bull market support band here, the 21-week EMA, the 20-week SMA, that it would just, if you remember back in 2016, 2017, you look at that chart, put the bull market support band, put those two EMAs on the chart if you can, and just look at how beautifully we held the bull market support band throughout the entire bull market until that parabolic phase in 2017, the end of 2017, when we went too far gone and we just exploded, went way beyond any hope of holding that as support, because we were just gone. We were too far gone. So then the next time after the blow off top, next time we got to the bull market support band, we couldn't hold. But for a year and a half, up until that blow off top, we held the bull market support band. I believe that we will retest this bull market support band and hold it. And it is rising pretty quickly, but when I look at Bitcoin's price, I'm just seeing a lot of waiting for the bull market support band to rise. Look what happened in March. The last time, Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, V-shaped recovery right here. But the last time we tested the bottom of the bull market support band, the 20-week SMA, we held that very well. I would expect, and actually I'm really hoping for this, I'm just hoping for the next 2 years or so that perhaps, that might be a stretch to hope for 2 years, but maybe we could just hold this the whole time, and maybe that's your time to buy. If you're looking for an ideal buying point for Bitcoin, it would not be right here at $31,000. We're a little bit, not excessively, but a little bit too far gone from the bull market support band. But as we get closer, that's when you start nibbling, and then you see it get anywhere near these moving averages. That's when you get in. If for some reason I am wrong about that, the next thing that I'm looking at is the 200-day simple moving average, which is where, there it is. It's really hard for me to see with the light shining in my face, but around $23,000. I tend to want to pay attention to the levels, and I want to be clear about that. The levels that I drew, I'll go back to that chart, but right now the moving averages are telling me more of a story as to where I want to buy in. And so when you look at that compared to the levels, what's a price point that we could see Bitcoin wick to? I don't think it would get down to this $25,200 level. I think what would happen is that we'll just kind of range a little bit longer until we get to a point where the bull market support band, the 200-week simple moving average, are a little bit higher, and we can see Bitcoin bounce off of there. I think traders are looking at this level and their mouths are watering. They want it to get back down to these levels because that's where they're going to express a great deal of confidence when it comes to buying in anticipation of a next leg up. So that's what's on my radar from a technical analysis perspective. I do want to share one other thing, looking at a bigger picture from a picture of this general economic issues. This is something that was, I would say, pretty alarming to me when you factor in the fact that the Federal Reserve is trying to tighten right now, and you see their balance sheet decrease. You're seeing what's happening. You're seeing liquidity get sucked out of the market with the Federal Reserve trying to tighten. And so what's interesting is that the Treasury, it's kind of the opposite. And if you want to watch this video, I'm not going to play the video because if I press play, you're not going to be able to hear it. But Lynn Alden is, that's her in the video. You watch this video and what you'll see is that the Treasury, in response to the debt ceiling, with the debt ceiling issue, they tend to want to have $500 billion on their balance sheet in their account. And so, but what they've been doing in response to this debt deal, the debt ceiling issues that have been looming, is that they've brought it down to about $100 billion from $500 billion. And what that has done, unlike the Federal Reserve, is that's added liquidity to the Fed, to the market. And so what the Treasury has done has offset what the Federal Reserve has done with quantitative tightening. But now they're trying to refill their account. So now they're trying to do something that's going to remove $400 billion worth of liquidity from the market while the Federal Reserve is tightening. So this is kind of a double tightening type thing happening here. And so what happens with the stock market, with Bitcoin, as we see increased tightening, and really as we start seeing tightening, because again, if the Treasury is undoing with their emptying of their account, undoing what the Federal Reserve has been doing in their attempts to tighten, what happens? The Federal Reserve is continuing to tighten, but now the Treasury itself is tightening. It's kind of like a double quantitative tightening type thing. And so again, worst case scenario, I would think, would be that 200-day simple moving average, which that was also support right about here the last time we got down to this level here. So again, yeah, if we lose the 200 week and we lose the bull market support band, that's about where I'd be looking to buy in. But I would say short term, we're going to see some kind of a bounce here. But and then I don't think it would be a Silicon Valley Bank collapse. It would just be a slow bleed, a dump through and then a slow bleed. We're just kind of grinding down to that 200-day simple moving average, and then I think that would be a great point to buy. But again, I'm looking here. I'm looking at the 200 week, the bull market support band, and I'm thinking that is what's going to hold. But we'll see. You never know. So, I mean, I guess over the next week, I'm a little bearish, but again, I am bullish. I think this is going to hold. I think we're going to move higher. Another leg up. We will see. So that is all I have for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your week, and I will most certainly be seeing you in another video. Peace.